What's up, guys? Welcome back to Simply FPL. Done something even more different than usual today. I've noticed that pretty much no one's team I've seen has triple Man City, which is odd considering like how dominant they've been the last two seasons. In fact, I think most teams, they barely have one Man City player. So what I've done today is I've picked a few different drafts that include 3 Liverpool, 3 City. And to be honest, I think they actually look quite good. So when I thought I'd give this a bash, I thought I'd pick 6 players and then I'd have to really like destroy the rest of my team. Maybe pick some City and Liverpool players that aren't even that good. But yeah, the results are actually, it's giving me a bit of consideration. So look, Liverpool have really good fixtures to begin the start of the season. I think their first 10 fixtures are fairly good. So most people are considering trebling up on them. City have an okay start. I mean, they've obviously got a tough game at Tottenham first, but there's quite a lot of easy fixtures then after then. So look, maybe we are overlooking City just because they've got a tricky first fixture. So look, let's go through these 3 teams and yeah, we'll have a chat as we go. So the first team, I'm not going to do a slow reveal because to be honest, quite a lot of the players we've already spoke about ad nauseum at this point. So yeah, a lot of them are very similar, and I've also got 3 teams, so I don't want to do a slow reveal on all 3. It'll take about 30 minutes. So yeah, there's the first team. So just to fire through the lads that are going to be in most of these teams. So Sanchez and Foster, not going to touch them. Fairly nailed that I'm going to go Sanchez as my keeper. I don't ever take a backup keeper, certainly not at the beginning of the season, because we generally use a wild card within the first 10 game weeks anyway. So I only really need to pick a goalkeeper that's going to last me for that long. And then up front, Tony, Iheanacho and Pukki. If we go for this strategy, we're going to have some budget options up front. To be honest, I think Tony and Pukki for their price, 6.5 million and 6 million, probably not going to get much better than that. Tony had a phenomenal season last season. Pukki also had a good season, but he's also got experience in the Premier League, which is quite important. So look, they're a bit of a gamble, but as I say, if we're going to go really hard in the midfield and the defence, we're going to have to take those. And then Iheanacho. Look, I know Leicester have got another new striker, but I still think Iheanacho is going to be one of their main strikers. So that's going to be my belief until I'm proven otherwise. So we'll keep an eye on the friendlies beforehand. But yeah, these are what the strikers are going to be. And then Billy Gilmore, probably going to need him in most of these teams as well, just because it's going to be very hard to pack out the midfield like that. So who have we got first of all? So Robertson, Alexander Arnold. There's not much needs to be said about these guys. Like, they're probably going to be the 2 best wing backs in the league this season. If Van Dijk comes back, which looks like he is, it's just going to increase their chance of a clean sheet. Now, Robertson and Trent both had good seasons from an attacking point of view last season, but the problem was all the clean sheets. They weren't keeping as many. If they can add another 5 clean sheets each, which is very possible when Van Dijk's back, I really think that they could be 2 of the top scoring defenders. So they're almost midfielders in defence. So yeah, that's in this team we can afford to stretch the budget to the 2 of them. Then Stones and Diaz. So I know a lot of people are saying Stones is not nailed on. For me, he is nailed on. I think at the start of the season, we're not going to see as much rotation from Pep. He generally rotates a bit more once the Champions League kicks off. So look, that's not going to be in August. So I'd be confident that Stones is going to be one of the main men. And to be honest, I'd probably pick him over Diaz in the first 10 games because he's more of an attacking threat. So in this team, 2 Liverpool, 2 City defenders, set and forget. We're going to play them every single week pretty much until we use our wild card. And I'd be confident in doing that. We can get attacking returns from all of them. Clean sheets are very likely. I mean, there's not really many better defences you can find there, short of replacing Manquillo with like a Luca Digne and playing 5 at the back. If City manage to keep a clean sheet at Spurs, I mean, you could be looking at 30 plus points from those defenders. That's a big defence. And then even in midfield, I mean, we've managed to get Salah and De Bruyne in there. That's just unbelievable. So first of all, we've got Sarr in there. For Watford, he's obviously an unbelievable player. Probably should be playing for a better team than Watford. Now, the big risk is, are Watford going to score enough goals? Maybe. But if they do score enough goals, Sarr's going to be involved. He's one of their better players. Really, really good to watch. So I'd be confident having him in there over the likes of Souček, a Harrison. He's a bit of a differential as well. And then Rafinha, again, another nailed-on player. I really like the look of this team. Having De Bruyne and Salah in the team, if you do that, you really generally would have to destroy the rest of your team. But we've managed to get 2 premium midfielders, 3 premium defenders. Yeah, so that's option number 1. Let me know what you think. Option number 2. Those are the players we've changed. So we're going to keep the 2 City players at the back. And we're actually going to go heavy on midfield. I mean, that for a midfield is unbelievable. Now, you could potentially get De Bruyne in for Mahrez if you are willing to drop Van Dijk down to Gomez. And then you'd need to drop Iheanacho as well. So, I mean, it's one too far. But I actually think Mahrez could be one of the star men this season. He's come into his own at the end of last season. He's, in my opinion, one of City's best players. He generally, when he doesn't start, he doesn't come on either, which is good from a point of view that you can play him. And if he doesn't start, you're probably going to bring on one of your subs. But I really think that this season he's going to get a lot more minutes. I mean, he outscored De Bruyne last season on FPL. Just to give you an idea of how well he did. He had a fairly good season. Son, what needs to be said about him? Probably nothing, but we've managed to fit him in there. If Harry Kane stays at Spurs, you'd imagine Son's going to have another amazing season. His finishing is just phenomenal. He overperforms compared to his XG for the 4th or 5th season in a row. That's not fluke. That's just his finishing is phenomenal. The way the expected goals is calculated, it's expecting a lot of these sort of shots to miss. But he's so lethal that, again, he maybe he's just going to keep overperforming in his XG, and 10 million's a bargain. And then we've got Salah and Jota. So, look, for me, Jota, I've said it a few times, I'm expecting him to get a lot more minutes this season. I think, like, Firmino, Salah and Mane, they're all pushing 30 at this stage. Firmino, his goal contribution has dried up the last couple of seasons. Jota, fairly good Euros. I think, yeah, it's a punt. I get that. But if he does get to start more games than last season, 7.5 million is going to be a bargain. And then we need to obviously get rid of one of the Liverpool defenders. We've gone with Kelly. I mean, again, we're looking at having 2 defenders there that get us very few points. But in this team, you're going to play the Van Dijk, Stones, Diaz at the back. And then you're going to probably play all 5 midfielders and then pick from your 2 strikers. But your main sub's going to be either a midfielder or attacker. So we're not too worried about the 2 defenders that are 4 million. And then Van Dijk, assuming he's back, he gets goals. He goes up for every corner. We've seen he can score quite a few goals. So, yeah, 6.5 million. Happy enough with that. So that's option 2. And again, I really like it. Like, we've managed to get... Like, we've only managed to get 1 proper premium in Salah and Diaz if you want to count him, but we've managed to get Son and Mahrez that will be kind of the upper echelon of the mid premiums. So yeah, I'm happy with that one as well. It's just, it feels like that team's maybe a bit more of a gamble than Team 1, just because instead of having the Robertson and the Trent defender options, we've got Van Dijk and Jota. So yeah, a bit more of a gamble, but like, that team could seriously pay off. You could see every one of those midfielders scoring at least 1 goal in the first game of the season. You could see Van Dijk, Stones and Diaz getting a clean sheet. Although it's a gamble, it's the sort of one that if you check that team by game week 2, maybe it wasn't a gamble. But yeah, that's number 2. And then option 3. There we are. So very similar team to the last team. Now, who have we got rid of, actually? We got rid of... Okay. Yeah, we got rid of Diaz for Ben White. So we're assuming Ben White's going to Arsenal. So we're going to have him as a defender. Fofana nailed on for Leicester. I've spoke again at length about Fofana. I won't bore you with that details again, but I'm a big fan. And yeah, we're bringing Sterling in. So this is, again, look, you can upgrade Sterling to De Bruyne if you want to drop a Van Dijk to Gomez, or... Again, you could drop Iheanacho. You can reduce Rafinha down to a Harrison to save 500,000. Here, we're going really heavy on the midfield. You could even have a De Bruyne and a Ferran Torres instead of a Mahrez and a Sterling. But Sterling had such a good Euros in terms of... I mean, he was just always finding the net. He was always in the right spot at the right time. He had an okay Euros in terms of his off the ball as well. So, yeah, I don't hate this either. This one feels like the biggest gamble of the 3 teams. But also, this could get you the biggest reward. Again, it just feels like, let's say City get a couple of goals against Spurs. Liverpool score a couple of goals against Norwich. You're going to destroy the points there. So, yeah, that's the 3 teams. I know I've not gone into detail on all the players because I think the the main purpose of this video is just to see what sort of teams we can put together with 3 City, 3 Liverpool. But I'm not going to lie, I'm considering it. I wasn't considering doing more than 1 City player before looking at this. Now, there's a good chance I get that second one in there as well. At the end of the day, they have been unbelievable the last few seasons, and I don't think that's going to change much more moving into this season. So, let me know what you think. If you think I'm absolutely crazy, do let me know. But otherwise, which team did you prefer there? Team 1, Team 2, Team 3? Is that something you're going to consider doing? Is there any glowing omissions that I've left out there? But yeah, other than that, we're going to keep these drafts coming because they are a lot of fun, and they give myself a lot of ideas, but also I know they give you guys a lot of ideas as well. So that's it. We'll see you in the next video in the next day or two. Take it easy, guys.